Hi friends, last week I had my first tick ever, so today we want to tell you what we're doing for tick protection and also for protection against worms, because also when we're on a vacation in Spain, heartworms are more common, so we want to tell you what we're doing for protection. So it's very important to protect your dog against ticks and also to check them regularly for worms or to use a dewormer. But that's something that our vet didn't really tell us about, so it's something that we kind of knew because of my mom's parents' dog, and they always had a family dog for 16 years. And for their dog, they always used the same tick protection, and it worked so well for them. So that's what my parents decided to use for me too. And it's called Advantix, and it's basically a spot-on that you put on your dog, and then it's protected against ticks for a certain amount of time, depending on the kind of protection that you want against parasites, such as ticks, but also mosquitoes that could spread diseases. So it's very important to use something that prevents your dog from getting a disease, because that could be a high risk or high danger for your dog. So we decided to put on Advantix for the first time beginning of May, end of April, and maybe that already was a little bit too late, because I think 2 or 3 days after we put on Advantix, the spot on, and you just have to apply a small amount or like one dose in the neck of your dog, and you just have to put it there, and then it spreads through the whole skin and your dog is protected everywhere. A couple of days after doing that, my parents actually found a tick on the side of my left ear, like behind the ear. And my parents were so shocked, because in the first moment they thought that the spot on wouldn't be working. But afterwards, after checking and after trying to remove the tick or looking at it a little bit closer, they realized that the tick was already dead and had already died, and it wasn't in my skin anymore. It was just like tangled up in my fur. So basically I had the tick before getting the spot on, and then my parents applied the spot on, and then the tick died. So that's a perfect sign that the spot on is really working, and we're just like happy that we applied it in time for me to be protected. And then the second thing that we're doing is to use a medicine against worms. And actually the spot on from Advantix already prevents, for example, mosquitoes who can transmit the heartworm, for example, and also other kinds of worms. That already prevents that from happening. But of course there are also other kinds of worms which I could have based on what I eat, for example, outside, but also based on what my parents feed me. So there are like different circumstances that could prevent your dogs from having worms, but that could also increase the risk of your dog having worms. For example, if you barf your dog, then it's a higher chance that your dog has worms actually. And that's why we always use a deworming medicine. And there are 2 options how you could handle worms. You could either bring the poop of your dog to the vet, and then they would check it for worms. And that's actually what the parents of my mom do with their dog, but it's already a little bit older. And then since I'm still very young and the risk for worms is even like higher with young puppies, we could also just like give 1 tablet of deworming medicine every 3 months, or depending on the kind of worms, depending on the region where you live, even more often. So that's just something you should consider and something you should do also check with your vet what they recommend. And for now, I always get this deworming medicine, and then maybe in the future we're gonna switch to getting my poop examined, whether I even have worms at all, because of course it's like medicine that I get, and it's a tablet that I have to chew and have to digest. So if there's a more natural way, we will definitely consider that for the future. But just for now, and also with us being on workation in Spain, we just want to prevent me from getting heartworms, for example, who are more common in this area than in Germany, where we usually live. So that's kind of our routine on how we handle parasites such as mosquitoes and ticks and fleas and also worms. And it's very important that you consider this and talk to your vet, because of course we can tell you what we're doing, but we cannot give you any recommendation as to what could work for you. So this is just like our experience and our opinion. And I would really like to know how you handle this with your dog. So leave me a comment and I'll get back to you and we can have a good exchange and a good discussion. And if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so we can also keep you updated in the future. And then we'll see each other in the next video. Until then.